My name's Justyn McCabe from Portage la Prairie. I'm passionate about motocross. So these are the best of the best in the world, and I'm about 25 years older than my next competitor. Why are you doing this, and what's it about, and who's it for? And, you know, I have a family and, you know, a home and a business to run, and why are we doing these things? My family and my wife has been a supporter of myself and all the crazy antics that I've taken on, I would say, over the last 34 years.
Yeah, we're always on some kind of, I think, crazy journey with either motocross or snow bike now. You know, it just kind of seems normal, and the kids just kind of roll with it. And when it's like, okay, your dad's going to do this now, right? We're heading in this direction. They're like, okay, what can we do? My career started back when I was 13 in 1984, racing mini bikes. I had a friend of mine say, you know, you're a pretty good rider on a dirt bike. You know, you should come and race. I was 12 at the time, so it really didn't mean anything, but that was kind of nice that somebody had said that about me. And I got home and we ended up getting a bike.
His mom and dad went to extremes to help him from a very young age. They bought him bikes. They traveled all over the country with him. He's had a lot of support along the way, but he worked very hard.
1984, went through the season, did pretty decent. Came back in 85, won the Manitoba Championship. 1986, won the Manitoba Championship on 80s. From there, I thought, you know, okay, so I've done this in Manitoba. I did it again in 1987 in two classes, 125 and 250. And then I set my sights on a Canadian national title. And I went down to Melita and I was able to clinch the Canadian national title. So that was amazing. I mean, I haven't been able to afford to continue to do this every year because it's a very financially taxing sport. However, when you're passionate about it, you find a way.
Shortly after Andrea and Justyn were married, Justyn went off to Europe to race motocross and left his bride here in Manitoba. And that didn't please us a lot.
I don't really recall butting heads with them about me leaving because I was probably young and immature and stubborn, and you don't get to a high level of sport by doing everything that everybody else wants you to do. So I set my sights on what I wanted to do, and everything else was just noise.
My dad was racing dirt bikes. I think he was doing Worlds in Czechoslovakia. And my mom was pregnant with me.
I was scheduled to race the Czech Nationals over there. Ended up signing a deal with KTM to race the World Championships.
Unfortunately, he was in a terrible crash over there. A bike came over a jump and landed on top of his bike.
He broke his hip and his neck, and then, well, I think he was over there for a while. And he came back with my name, and my name is Zara, and Czech it means daughter.
So he came home a little earlier than expected and settled down, got a job, and started taking care of his wife. So that made us a little happier.
I had to take a step back and come back home and regroup and really enjoy my family. I took 10 years off. I was depressed.
He always had a dirt bike in the garage, or he was fixing someone else's dirt bike, or people would come over with dirt bikes. You could tell that he really wanted to ride again.
I went to go buy a jet boat. I came home with a motorcycle. It wasn't gonna work very well on the water.
But this time he went like all out. He went and like got all these special rims. Everything was color coordinated, and he was like being really serious about it. You know, we're like going to the races starting tomorrow. You know, I'm like, oh, great.
I went to the motocross track and I signed in as a pro, not having been on a bike for 10 years.
I'm like a teenager, and I just want to go hang out with my friends, and I'm going to the races, right? Then I went to the first race, and I was like, this is actually cool. My dad's winning. Like, this is fun, you know? He hasn't been in the scene forever, and then you get to see all these people that he used to ride with, and he's beating them. And then he's beating all the kids that are my age.
So I loaded up this bike that was 3 years older than anyone else's bike. It had yellow plates on it. In the pro class, you register with black and white plates. I line up beside the guy that has a number 1 plate on it. So I follow him out of the gate because I haven't been to the track in 10 years, get to know the track. Comes into a corner and he brake checks me. And I hit the back of him. I thought, what are you doing? So I go up and I said, hey man, I said, so what's with brake checking a guy in practice? Oh, well then you should line up with the class that you're actually gonna race in, was his comment to me. I said, I've got yellow plates on, but I'll see you at the line because you know what, we're gonna be in the same class. I put my foot down, you off, I'm gonna go train. The following year, plus 25, age class and pro class, I was on the top box. Super guys, we joke about it a little bit in the pits now, but thanks for setting me off, fellas.
So what exactly is a snow bike? The hyperactive sport of snow bike cross is like a winter version of motocross, allowing athletes to race year-round. You remove the front wheel on a traditional dirt bike and replace it with a ski. The rear wheel is replaced with a single snow track.
Basically what you do to put this together is pull out this one axle right here, and these 4 bolts. This system slips off and you put your tire in. As far as the back end, there's 1 axle, as well as your shock mount and your brake that you have to bleed. Yeah, it's pretty amazing where you can go with these things. It's certainly not a snowmobile. It all started actually with a Facebook friend request. He said, you should come out to BC and race snow bikes. I said, Derek, I've never even seen a snow bike. I ordered a kit and brought it home, bolted it onto my bike, and drove 22 hours out west to go and race the Canadian Nationals. So the first year in, I was able to finish up behind Cody Matichuk and Brock Hoyer in the pro class. So these 2 guys are both X Games gold medalists. And for me to be able to get in there and have some fun, mix it up with them, and give them a little bit of competition is a highlight of my career. All right, rock and roll. Oh, safety first, we're extreme sports, right? Okay, the icon of course the prairie, which is the bridge, and that jet over there, the windmill. We're gonna head off to Portage Sandhills. With that sun out, it's not too bad. November 15th, I'd gone down to try and qualify for the X Games. I was there 2 weeks prior to that, you know, doing some training and riding and getting used to the facility and stuff, and I felt really good.
On his last race, he said, well, this will probably be my last official race as a, you know, in snowcross. And I kind of went, So then, of course, he didn't qualify, and we're driving away, and he said, yeah, that's it. I think I'm done.
It upsets me to see him down sometimes, like it does, but I mean, we warned him. We said, you know, like you weren't ready for this.
I went out and I did my moto. I believe it was top 5, if I'm not mistaken, that transferred. I ended up 7th. So I didn't have enough accumulated points to be able to, you know, qualify for X under those guidelines.
We just weren't prepared. We didn't start early enough.
And then he was like, I'm not doing this again. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, I'm not gonna try for the X Games again.
I'm not a real depressed guy, but I wasn't certainly happy with my results.
The family's better when we're all working towards something.
Here's a lady that has given her life to our family to support what I do.
They're top priority too, so it's a challenge as to where are you doing some of this stuff and still following and chasing your dreams and then enjoying your family.
Yeah, we haven't always agreed, but he's always been a good husband to my daughter and a great father to my granddaughters.
I wasn't as focused as I should have been. We weren't really concentrating on our eating, the training. So it kind of all has to come together. It has to come together at the right time for it all to work.
She's always been there for me for this stuff. Part of the conversation recently is, you know, I need to support her in what she loves and is passionate about.
The challenge is, what is that?
I really think that, you know, a team is where you can support each other.
You do have to pursue your passion, and he's still chasing his dream.
I would like to come back. I mean, I can't give you a guaranteed answer right now, but I certainly would like to come back, but I just don't know what the future holds.
It's very important to recognize my family for, you know, what they're doing. Yeah, it's just, yeah. And yeah, I don't realize it sometimes because I just take it for granted.